don't forget about Bombs Away wearable merchandise. Camp Bombs Away t-shirts, Bombs Away logo, and a special Be Kind Rewind sticker-inspired Bad Movie Comedy Podcast back detail t-shirt. Link in the description. Now, back to the show.
Legend has it they were directed by the Dark Ones. Necrobomicon Ex Modus, roughly translated, movies of the trash. These movies served as a passageway to the evil worlds beyond. They were made long ago, when the shelves of your local Blockbuster ran black with the plastic of tapes. It was with these tapes that the evil was distributed into every home. Now, years later, all but lost to the sands of nostalgia until 2021, when they returned.
It's time to kill the sidekicks. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet the puppets in Puppet Master 2. That's all I got.
That was good. That was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think when you guys all started laughing at me when I was sitting there. Because I was trying to remember what the Sesame Street theme song was, but I couldn't.
Oh, no, Muppets is way better.
There was existential dread on your face as your eyes were darting back and forth trying to find whatever information was there.
Don't you guys, isn't that the best part about starting an episode when I sit there and I'm like, okay, how do I start?
You raw dog it?
Yeah. Oh, yes, welcome to Bombs Away, a bad movie comedy podcast. I am your puppeteer, Tyler Rowe. Joining me inside the little tiny stage, as always, is...
Puppet Peyton Bieber.
And...
You ever smell roasted entrails, lady? Jared Seifert. That was my favorite line of the movie.
I was taken so aback because I thought you were going to say, like, Marionette, Jared.
God,
but
no.
that shit was so crazy.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
You ever smell roasted entrails, lady?
The way that he delivers that line reminds me of...
Oh, no, it's the wife.
Oh, yeah,
She
the
says
wife,
it.
yes. The way she delivers that line reminds me of that Nick Cage line where he's like, you ever get dragged through the streets and you piss blood?
Is that the farm couple?
Yes. The weirdest, like, side story. There's like, oh, you guys are here to die.
This movie is made of 18 side stories and no real story.
Pretty much.
Yes. Yes, welcome to Bombs Away, the Bad Movie Comedy Podcast. I already said that. Today, on the docket, for those of you who don't pay attention to episode titles, is the smash hit swept the Oscars in a shocking twist. Won all but Best Set Design is
Warhorse.
Puppet Master 2. Yes, Puppet Master 2.
It's like, there's no tagline.
There's no, like, sub-thing. Puppet Master 2, Revenge
starring
of the Puppets.
absolutely not a single person of any note whatsoever. The 2 stars do not even have pictures on IMDb.
Really?
And the guy who plays, spoiler alert, Andre Toulon, his photo
Andre
on...
Toulon 5000, sorry.
Puppets really smell like ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, puppets really smell like green goo.
Shake it.
His picture on Instagram, on IMDb, is him in the raps in this movie.
Really?
Yes. Directed by David Allen, who is more well known for being a VFX artist. I believe he did the VFX for Puppet Master 1. He also did Ghostbusters 2, Willow, and The Howling. But really all you need to know about this movie, for those of you who know really like bad movie history and all that kind of stuff, is this movie is produced by Full Moon Productions, who made 85 million movies at one point. They did Prehysteria, which was written by the guy who wrote Hocus Pocus, which is about little dinosaurs.
What? Really?
I knew you would be excited about it. You never heard of that movie?
It vaguely sounds familiar, but I can't.
It's
say
about
I've
little dinosaurs that this kid like befriends and
like
stuff like
Indian
that.
in the Cupboard or something like that.
Almost like that, yeah. It's a children's movie.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a horror movie. Never
no,
mind.
it's a
That'd be
children's
cool if it
movie.
was
But they
horror.
also did Puppet Master. They
Sorry,
did-
Tyler had some lag there. Puppet Master.
my ping went way up to say it.
Tyler.ex has stopped working.
Dong. So they did Puppet Master, Castle Freak, a movie that I will constantly reference throughout this, Crawl Space, which is a movie that I love.
The alligator one that just came out.
No, that's funny that you said because I was just talking about that movie with someone at work, and
Is
they're
this
like,
the
the one
prequel
with
to
the
Office
alligator? No, okay, so Crawl Space, we'll say now, and I'll bring this up, is a movie
Area
by
under a
Full
house.
Moon, actually area inside of an apartment complex.
Oh.
It's a movie by Full Moon starring Klaus Kinski about the son of a Nazi who owns an apartment building, and he almost exclusively rents to women, and he murders them. And the whole crawl space thing is that he climbs through the ducts of the air conditioning inside the apartments to look at the women in their windows.
This is what you were saying when you were like, Full Moon has a really creepy obsession with Nazis.
Yeah, they're
Yes,
very
I
Okay.
don't know
Nazi heavy.
what is up with. So Charles Band, right? He is the man behind Full Moon.
The man behind the band.
And then his brother Richard Band did the music for this. But he is the mastermind behind all this, and I don't know why he has such an obsession with Nazis. The bad guy in that movie is a Nazi. He's a son of a Nazi. And that's only because when they wrote it, it was a Nazi, and they'd be like, well, this is the 90s. He'd be like 80 years old. So, weird obsession with Nazis. I don't know what it is. Do you know who else has a weird obsession with Nazis?
Indiana
Indiana
Jones.
Jones. All right.
I was
Were
gonna
you
say
saying Indiana Jones
no.
as
I was
well?
gonna say Rob Zombie because he has a weird obsession with Nazis
yeah.
too.
That's it's gonna the
That was my
the
next
Monsters remake is gonna take place in Nazi Germany.
You know, I'm gonna say when I heard he was doing the Munsters, I was excited, and I jokingly said to one of my friends, who's also a big Rob Zombie fan, I said, "Wow, he's doing the Munsters. This will probably be the first Rob Zombie movie without a sexual assault in it. That's awesome." And then I saw the cast, and I was like, "Probably not. Never mind this." That was the biggest letdown of the century. It's not like it was a surprise to me that Sherry Moon Zombie is going to play Lily Munster,
Yeah.
but it was still a surprise to me that she's going to play Lily Munster, and I'm genuinely upset.
It's the movie concerns me.
I'm worried now. I wasn't worried before because he loves the Munsters.
Yeah.
He got the okay to do the movie. Universal owns the Munsters.
Yeah.
Him and Universal have a sordid past. House of a Thousand Corpses was a Universal movie at first, and then midway through he went over budget, and they're like, we don't want to make your movie anymore, and just cut him out, and then he had to go get independent funding, and then he did the 2 Halloween remakes, and Halloween 2 he said was the most miserable time he's ever had making a movie, because Universal was on him all the time. So the way that he got the permission to make the Munsters is he went to the estate holders.
Oh.
And they gave him the okay. So then he could go to Universal and say, I've already got the okay to make this movie. So now I'm worried.
Yeah. Well.
Now if Charles Band was involved, there would be Nazis. No, yeah, weird fascination with Nazis with these guys for some reason. But with a 5.5 on Rotten Tomatoes, doesn't deserve that 0.5. That is not fair to Halloween.
Yeah.
It doesn't
3.
deserve that 5.
No, it doesn't deserve that 5.
This movie is awful.
Very slow and boring.
Have you ever seen this thing that people do back on the old show when we would read 5-star reviews?
Yeah.
You probably came across this a lot, where people will write a 5-star review, and then the beginning of their review they write 2.5 stars, and then like write out their review.
yeah.
That's why this has a 5.5, because I saw like a ton of 5-star reviews that were like 1 star, and then like wrote out like what they said. I was like, the fuck are you like inflating the score for this movie? But with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 33%, it is Puppet Master 2. Let's get into it. Peyton, since you among us are the
Sympathizer.
person to have. Oh my god!
Jeez, no. Don't put that out
No,
there.
Nazis, no, the bad movie sympathizers.
I've seen that tattoo on your leg, Jarrett.
No, he's the bad movie sympathizers.
Tell us about the Phantom. No, so
Okay, where do I begin?
Didn't the Phantom have Nazis?
yes, no,
No.
they were like almost Nazis, but they didn't call them.
They were
Nazis.
towing the
It
line.
was before. It was like in 1930s, wasn't it?
Nazis existed in 1930. Were you going off American history, where the Nazis only existed in 1945 when we got involved?
That's when that's what happened, right? That's what I was taught in school.
Take us really quick. I was saying you are the one who has most recently watched Puppet Master 1.
Oh,
Give
boy.
us
60 seconds or less.
All right, 60 seconds or less. Okay.
You don't have to talk fast. You can just tell us.
You only have 60 seconds.
Toulon kills himself because he's being pursued by German Nazis, as opposed to French Nazis. And then some psychics, for some reason, decide to go to the same hotel years later in Bodega Bay and find something to try to talk to ghosts or something. I kind of forgot. But then get hunted down one by one by puppets while they're either having sex or just kind of just chilling there. And then the one guy is like, who like the ghosts are trying to contact is like, I have killed you all, and now I am a ghost, or something like that. That's about all I remember.
Wait, Peyton, I said
40
give us
seconds.
the plot for Puppet Master 1, not Puppet Master 2.
Oh, so a bunch of psychics come.
Same movie, basically.
Same movie, but slower somehow.
Yeah, and Puppet Master 1 is really boring, too, which is crazy that...
I enjoyed Puppet Master 1, probably because I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I kind of went into it blank, and then I saw Puppet Master 2 short like a day later, and I was like, oh, this is even boringer.
More boringest. Yeah, let's, I guess that's all you need to know. Really all you need to know is that there's killer puppets that are infused with a green goo.
I'm going to say they're not... They're killers, yes, but they're not bad puppets.
They're misunderstood
I would
murderers.
say they're definitely just like...
You know who else was following orders?
Oh my god.
So, the movie starts off in 1989. Andre Toulon, the guy who shot himself in the head in the beginning of the movie, best scene of Puppet Master.
I did not make the connection that this was him.
It says on the grave. Now, admittingly,
I may
Jared
have
and I
missed
were
that.
just talking about, I torrented this movie, and I could only find one version of it, and it's a DVD rip. And it's not even a good DVD rip. It's a DVD rip of a DVD that was probably a VHS rip.
Yes.
It felt like I was watching a movie in 1989.
Yeah, because I
that
couldn't
was
tell
kind
what
of
was
neat.
happening.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything.
It's about a 480p.
So these Puppet Master movies were released direct to video. So
That makes sense.
yeah, all the interlacing in it too from the DVD rip from the VHS is just the best. It was the way to watch the
Yeah.
movie, if I'm being completely honest. You don't want to watch it in 4K. I'm sure it looks weird.
I mean, the best way to watch it is to just not.
Dang.
I will say the puppet effects are pretty cool.
The
in
puppet
both
effects
movies.
are great.
Stop
They
motion.
look so good.
Yeah, it looks
well, because
really
they're
good.
stop. It's like Gremlins. It's stop motion and animatronic puppetry, and some live actors.
Yeah.
As we'll cover. And then the new puppets that they introduced in this movie are really cool too. I mean, there's only one new
only
puppet that they
one.
introduced, but I really
The
like
Jester?
Torch.
Oh.
Torch.
Torch is the newest addition in this one, and there's a great story about Leech Woman that we'll get to in a second. But so we see Andre Toulon's grave is being dug up in this Shady Oaks Cemetery, which is like, all right, guys, come on. Can we be more stereotypical with our cemetery name? Let's just call it Dead People Live Here Cemetery and move on, I guess. But also, this cemetery is behind the Bodega Bay Inn, which is odd. I don't get. They make a comment about it later that they're like,
Is this essentially supposed to be the inn? Sounds like it's supposed to be the Winchester Mystery House, but in Bodega Bay.
Does.
yeah, it's like the same thing. I don't get it. I don't know. I had nothing to say because you hit it right on the head. That is
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Now here's my confusion. Right, this is called the Bodega Bay Inn. For those of you who are not
From New York.
from California or familiar with California, Bodega Bay is a city in California, Northern California, where The Birds was filmed and takes place. the schoolhouse scene where they run down the street and the birds get them. That's a Bodega Bay. That's still there. However, this hotel, the Bodega Bay Inn, is a real hotel
Is it?
in LA,
Oh,
and it's called the Bodega Bay Inn.
that's weird.
Right?
So they just superimpose it on that weird
That
hill cliff.
This hotel is in the same place. I don't know how they built two buildings on top of each other, but this is the same place that the hospital from Malignant is in as well. The hotel is a matte painting on that cliff, and the matte painting's so dirty. Did you notice it has like all that like grime on the screen while they're looking at it? But so our first introduction of a puppet, Pinhead, which is a
Hands, as I call him.
Yeah, you called him Hands, and I was like, is that his actual name? Was I calling him wrong this whole time? Because you said it with such confidence, and it's, no, it's Pinhead.
That's what it sounds like it should be.
Well, he has a little tiny head.
And giant hands.
Yeah, it's Pinhead. Not like Hellraiser.
I was about to say like Handy Mandy, but
He's not Wilder Valderrama or whatever his name is.
Save the drama for Wilder Valderrama.
So Pinhead, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to try to describe these puppets as well as possible visually, is a, you said it perfectly, like a
1920s gangster henchman.
yes, but with a little tiny head and human hands. And he's played by a little person. Like Swedish Chef style. Hands through the costume, but a
Okay.
head on top. And
So I don't know how those proportions work out for.
it's honestly, I watched some behind the scenes footage a long time ago, but I believe anything with the hands is her hands in it because they were like, okay, it would look weird if it's
Her hands?
It's her hands, but they were like, it would be weird if we used regular sized human hands. That would look too disproportionate to the puppet. So when it's walking around, it's still a puppet and it's still animatronics. But anytime you need to see the hands, it's this little person actress doing it. And then there's some scenes where he's walking that's also her doing it and stuff like that. Or in the first movie, he gets thrown against the wall and he gets up, and that's her getting up. We'll talk about it, but there's quite a few scenes in between these two movies where you become very aware of the fact that these are puppets. It's like hilarious every time it happens. But Pinhead gets in there and he opens up Andre Toulon's casket and he climbs out, and then this green goo gets dumped in there.
Secret of the Ooze.
Secret. And he turns into, what is his name?
Shredder.
What's the ooze? Oh wait, no. Secret of the Ooze is
Turtles.
Turtles.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Ivan Ooze from Power Rangers. So he pours the liquid on the corpse, and then we basically get to see every single puppet that's going to be in this movie right now in this scene. We see Tunneler, who
Is that the drill head?
Yes, he has a drill on his head. He's a Nazi as well.
He strikes me as a Nazi.
Thought
Funny.
they just all were.
No, he's
Some of
like
them-
very Nazi.
Yeah,
Him
but like
and
if you're
Torch-
friends with a Nazi, you're a Nazi.
Yes.
Him and Torch look Nazi.
Yes.
The other ones,
However,
could pass.
Torch is more militant. Well, no, that helmet.
No,
that
he's wearing
helmet.
he's wearing
Yeah.
the helmet with the spike on it, the Prussian style helmet. But Blade,
Blade doesn't look.
he's
like
supposed to look like a Gestapo officer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's really, really hard Nazi stuff here. And then you have two others that are so far from looking like Nazis that they look
Jester and
weird.
Leech.
Yeah, or three. Jester, Leech Woman, and Pinhead don't look like Nazis at all, and they kind of stick out. But so we get to see Drill. What is a? They're Tunneler. He has a drill on his head. He looks like a Nazi. Funny little thing about him is these little black eyes, right? Well, the puppet that they sculpted for Tunneler has his eyes are closed. So every time you see his eyes open, it was a prop person or one of the puppeteers. They cut out electrical tape and stuck it in the eyes to make it look like it had little black eyes that were open. But otherwise, its eyes are like slightly shut. So when it needed to have wide eyes, they stuck these little stickers on it to make it look like it. We have Leech Woman, who is, you watched Puppet Master 1, the fucking most disgusting puppet ever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go that far, but it was definitely pretty gross.
Okay, Jarrett, you didn't watch it, so let me tell you. Leech Woman,
Shoves leeches out of her mouth.
yes, but she makes these like noises as the leeches come out, and the way that the puppet's made is it's a hard upper head and a soft lower head. So when the leeches come out, the jaw like unhinges and like stretches as like, and real leeches come
Oh,
out
so
of
it's
the
like
mouth.
slow motion vomit for you.
It's
Yeah,
so
pretty
gross,
much.
but the
That's why you
noises
hate
she
it.
makes are awful. And I remember when we did Puppet Master 1 a long time ago, good friend of the show, good friend of ours, Trey, comes up to me and he goes, I finally watched Puppet Master. You're right. The noises that Leech Woman make are fucking horrible. He's like, it makes me so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you know who else it made uncomfortable? The other producers of this film, outside of Full Moon, which I can't remember if it was Paramount or Universal, which, spoiler, is the reason why she dies so early in the movie,
Really?
because they didn't want her in the rest of the movies. They're like, that is a terrifying puppet. We don't want it anymore.
But-
Kill her.
I liked her because she was so creepy and like.
She's too scary. They literally like kill her in this movie. We don't want her in the rest. And then, do you know who she gets replaced by in the next one? One of the coolest puppets. A guy named Six Shooter, who's a cowboy with 6 arms. And he has guns in each arm.
so cool.
Yeah, it's dope as fuck.
I can see why you like this franchise. Looking at your desk with all the miniatures on it.
I am Andre Toulon.
Pretty much.
Except for the Nazi part. I'm not that part. Blade, like I said, he's the one that if you know Puppet Master, you know Blade. He has a white face, white hair. He's like dressed like a Gestapo guy. He's got a leather jacket and a hat.
Yeah.
Blades for eyes, blades for hands.
Blades for eyes.
Yes. He has little, when he gets horny, as I call it, his eyes jut out and they're little like points.
Yeah, whenever he's like needed to zoom in, he's like, shing.
Yeah. And he is modeled after Klaus Kinski, the bad guy Nazi from Crawl Space. And
Oh.
everyone fucking hated Klaus Kinski. So this was kind of them being like, fuck you. Because he was just a
Those
monster on set.
cheekbones, my god.
That's what Klaus Kinski looks
Ugh.
like, yeah. And then Jester, who is a jester puppet whose face spins around rapidly and
his
makes
little
different
expressions.
expressions. And
His little sad face, like, oh man.
when he's sitting in that chair and he's
Yeah.
all sad. Jester's weird because I don't really know what his purpose is.
Even in the second or in the first movie, he like didn't do anything.
He's just there to be like, ooh.
He's like the comedic relief, basically.
I think he's not really like into what the puppets are doing. He seems to kind of have his own free will. Because in the first movie, when people get killed, he'll show up and be like, oh fuck, they're killing again. Oh, here I go, killing again. So yeah, they dump their goo in there, and then a skeletal arm raises out of the grave, and now it's a few months later. And we literally basically just get the same plot from the first movie now.
Except it's like the U.S. Department of Paranormal Research, which I was like,
It's like,
Yeah.
okay, we barely fund NASA. Do you think we're funding that?
The X-Files show up.
Yeah.
horny X-Files. Hornier X-Files?
I was just going to
Well,
say, X-Files is
it's-
horny. David Duchovny's
I
like...
want to be creamed.
he-
Sorry, believe. Forgot the slogan.
He's like, I'm only here because I'm filming Red Shoe Diaries on Thursday and it's nearby. So a group of parapsychologists show up to investigate this place. Like I said, basically the same plot as the first one, except instead of psychics, it's parapsychologists.
No, there's more than just two.
Well, there's several.
There's one psychic in this, though.
You said,
Yeah.
yes, I know.
Yeah. But
You said parapsychologist.
oh,
Like,
you god damn it!
It's not funny if they explain it. So.
The door's right there. See yourself out. No, so we meet Carolyn Brownwell, Patrick, who is her brother, and then there's Lance and Wanda, who are horny.
I would say
people.
her and her brother are more like paranormals. They're pretty boring.
Yeah, they are.
They're a paranormal.
They're basically here to investigate the murder from the first movie
Okay.
of the main psychic woman who died at the end of the first movie, who her
Okay.
brain got scooped out of her nose. And they say, "Oh, she had her brain scooped out of her nose." And then, like in a weird line, they're like, "Oh, like a mummy." It's like,
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I was thinking. I was like, mummification.
Yeah.
Ancient Egypt, got it.
And they're like a mummy. It's like, okay. Or just she got her brain scooped out of her nose. I don't know why it's like a.
Because that was an ancient practice of mummification.
I know, but
Yeah, but like,
when I
Who else pulls brains out of noses?
when I take a shit on someone's
lobotomist?
chest, am I practicing an ancient Roman tradition?
Is that what they did?
I don't know. I think that was vomiting, to be honest. So, they're investigating all of that, and they're also looking into the fact that Alex Whitaker, who's the character from the first movie, is suspected to have killed her because he's now in a mental institution because he went crazy after everything that happened. But really, we all know he didn't go crazy. He was just literally telling people what he saw,
yeah.
which is he saw
The most
puppets.
tired trope in Hollywood.
Yeah, like I'm not crazy. I'm telling you the truth. No, you're not. However, I don't even care if it was the truth. If someone came in and was like puppets, I'd be like, lock him up.
I'd be like, okay, that's cool. I'm just not going to go there.
You go, cool. I have seen Puppet Master.
You go, cool. So why didn't you just, like, kick them or leave?
Yeah, they're small. like that little
Step
kid
out of the way? I don't
There's
know.
a few times where they really beat up on the
on the puppets.
puppets. And
Like I said, there's moments in this movie where you really go, oh yeah, they're puppets.
yeah.
Big shout out to the guys at Full Moon. When we did Midsummer, you might remember,
That was fun, yeah.
the Full Moon booth was across
Right
the
across,
way
yeah.
from our booth.
Which if I had seen these movies before, I would have appreciated their merch a little bit more too.
Yeah.
Because they had some cool like little figures of like Blade and stuff.
So we went over there and talked to them, and we were just like shooting the shit with them. We're like, we've covered Puppet Master on the show. We're gonna do more Full Moon stuff. We just want to tell you guys we like your stuff. And the two guys there were really nice, and they weren't booth babes. They were like legit guys from Full Moon who just had to go man the booth during Midsummer, and they're like, that's so cool. And we were just talking with them. We told them who we were and all this stuff, and they were like, do you want a Blade action figure? Like a
Yes, I
little,
remember
and
that.
I was like, that is so funny. We have a Blade action figure already in our set right now. And they came and they looked at it, and then they gave us a laser blast, which is another one of their awful movies with this horrible looking alien.
I love the MST3K of Laser
Yes,
Blast.
it's a popular.
And they talk, they go...
Yes. That's Full Moon. They gave us an action figure of that, and I was like, oh my god. So big shout out to the guys at Full Moon. They're
yeah, hey,
so
if,
nice.
If you want to be on the show,
They told us anytime we wanted to do one of their movies live just to let them know.
why didn't we let them know?
They also did Ginger
this
Dead
isn't
Man.
live.
I forgot about that with Gary
that
Busey.
sounds fun.
You were like,
Christmas?
I don't want to do it anymore.
For Christmas?
Gary Busey.
I don't know if I'm
Season
ready.
3?
Yes, there you go. Because I'm not ready to do Ginger Dead Man or Jack Frost. So
Oh, that was a sad movie.
not the
that
one
Jack
with
Frost.
Michael Keaton. That movie is sad though. So they invite a guest psychic there. Camille Kennedy is her name, and
Kennedy.
she cracks me up because she's like, I need to leave. I saw them, those little demons. And then, everyone is aware of the puppets, I guess, that they exist, supposedly, because of the stories from Alex. But they go upstairs, there's like two, like, Raggedy Ann type dolls, like, in the window, and they're like, all right, bitch. And then she just leaves. We really never see her again. She disappears.
That's a lie.
No, she dies.
I was like...
She says she's going to leave, and then while she's packing...
I also hate this in movies where they're like, I'm leaving right now. And then it's like 4 hours later as they're packing their bags.
Yeah,
'Cause it's like the time of day even shifts.
But I'm also like, you just got here. Where are you unpacking?
Yeah, like did
How would
you
you
just...
already been unpacked? Also, another thing I hate. Do you ever unpack a suitcase for a 2-night stay?
No.
Okay, I thought you were
You
gonna
live
say
out
for
of your suitcase.
like
Yeah.
a full vacation because I was just about to
Even
say,
for a full
I
vacation.
never unpack out of my suitcase for a vacation.
I live out of my
except when I
suitcase.
just went to Hawaii this last time. Carly and my mom both harassed me to the point where I put my stuff in the dresser in the hotel room because they were like, "You're really just gonna live out of your suitcase?"
Yeah. It
Yeah.
makes me feel like I'm on vacation. Because I'm on vacation.
Yeah, they like were like, "Put
much
your
work.
stuff in there." And then Carly started doing it, so I had to do it. I had to put my stuff in there.
It's too much work.
I know, because then I have to unpack it out of that.
Yeah.
Double packing.
That one took me a few seconds.
If you guys didn't know, I pointed at Jared.
Because I've got 2 penises.
Oh.
The first
One in my butt and the one on my front.
the first man to ever be born with child
Yeah.
to ever be born with 3 penises was just
Yeah.
born the other day or like a week ago.
I feel like that's not, like, gonna be a proud moment for his life.
No,
Probably not.
no. But 2 penises is not uncommon, but isn't, or not common, but isn't uncommon.
Yeah.
But no one has ever been like recorded having 3 penises.
A tripene?
A tripenis. So, while she's packing to leave, Pinhead and Jester attack her and they kidnap her. Again, like Jester doesn't really kill anyone. He's just kind of like
He's just
He's
there.
there.
he's just a little stinker. He's just kind of a little stinker.
His head like rotates around and he's like oh.
Yeah, he makes all these cool faces. But Pinhead does kill people.
Pinhead drills.
What?
What?
Oh wait, no.
No, that's Tunneler. Hands.
Hands. Oh yeah, okay. Hands. Now I know.
He crushes.
I thought you said drips. And I was like, ew.
No, they do that later with the goo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So the next day, Carolyn calls Michael, who's Camille's son, because she's like, we don't know where she went. And
Is this the motorcycle guy?
Yeah.
yeah, they're trying to make him look so cool, and it just does not work. No one is
They're
cool
like
in this movie.
throwing in characters left and right.
Well, I mean, we need a body count, right?
Well, mind you, like, the psychic lady already showed up 20 minutes into the film.
Yeah.
And then, like,
You know what's funny? You text me and you were like, "This is the most boring movie I've ever watched," right? And I was like, "No, man, it get like the first 30 minutes is like quick." And then after that I was like, "Oh my god, could this go any slower?" And the best part about this movie is that it's only an hour and 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
But that last 50 minutes, I was like, "Holy shit, we really like
It's
went balls to
so
the wall for the
boring.
first 30 minutes." Yeah, it's a
because,
rough
like,
one.
have we even... No, the hut's next, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Jabba the Hutt.
Your favorite scene.
I love this scene.
Well, no, actually, that's earlier. We get
That- oh,
introduced
yeah.
to those people when they first show up. When Camille first shows up, and everyone shows up, they find these people that are living in like a shack near the house, and they're setting up an electric fence to keep out.
Something that's
Something?
been coming and eating
Well,
the brains of their
yeah.
pigs.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it's the puppets.
The puppets.
And then that does come back later, because
it does.
Well, that's how they
long.
get the goo.
Tu Wong Fu?
Well,
Thanks for everything?
yes. Part of their goose stew is they have to like find human body remains. Of
No, they have
human?
to use brain. They
Oh,
have
is
to
it
use
brains?
human brain.
Yeah, they have to use human brain because they got to
just thought
make
it
a
was-
goo stew for 2.
I thought it was just human parts.
No,
Goose stew-
no.
We don't know what will do the goose stew for 2.
Yes, but human parts won't make the goo stew for 2. It'll make a goo stew for you.
Oh.
I can't.
Welcome to
I
Dr.
can't laugh
Seuss's
any. I can't make any more rhymes here because I don't know. But yes, the goo stew is made from brains.
What about Maloo?
What? Forcing it. Now you're forcing it.
And in Jungle Book, the bear Baloo, and on
But then-
Tailspin too.
But then in the children's programming, Kalu.
Baloo, you mean Caillou?
Yeah. Kalu, I don't know.
That little
And then
bitch.
what
you.
about Cthulhu?
I'm gonna kill both of you. So yeah, there's this weird like hillbilly family. They're talking about something's coming in eating the brains. It's the puppets. You think they're never gonna show up again, but they do. So when Michael, Camille's son, shows up, they kind of go and look around, and like her car's still at the hotel, but she's missing and everything like that. Meanwhile, that night, Patrick is sleeping, and
Oh, brother.
the brother, no character development for this guy. He
The
doesn't
men in
get
this movie
anything.
are hot, minus the guy on a motorcycle.
I knew you were gonna say that because it's that like '90s like beef bod type.
Oh,
guy. Like,
that's that George Michael vibe.
like Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, just like these like buff, like,
Yes.
semi-mulleted. Yeah,
I
knew.
love it. They got that
Slight
thick,
tan.
funky hair.
Yeah,
Oof.
yeah.
Hairy
But
chest.
You don't learn anything about this guy because he's just in his sleep, and Tunneler comes in and is like,
Okay, if something started drilling into my head, I wouldn't be like, grab the sides of the bed and just keep shaking.
nutting.
Like, the second I felt something like, I'd probably be like, oh, and like swat at it.
They're
But
just
he does
puppets.
nothing.
Okay.
He does nothing. He's just like,
He kind of just sits there and takes it.
yeah.
He's like, ah!
He just takes the drilling.
just,
That's Driller, not Tunneler. Driller has just a huge dick. There is one thing about this movie that cracks me up is that like the movie can't stay consistent with how large the puppets are.
yeah.
Because like sometimes they look like they're like itty bitty, and then they're the size of a child in another scene.
Like the later in the movie when the kid is like,
yes, and the puppet's
He,
the
like,
size of him.
he picks up Blaze or whatever, torch.
Yeah.
And he's like a little infant.
Yes,
child.
he's
I'm
holding like a
"What?"
baby doll, essentially. Megan, is that her name? Yes. Megan comes in the room and she's like, "Oh my god!" as he's getting his head drilled, and she manages to kill Tunneler. The other guy comes in. Not Patrick. He just died. The other guy, and they just bash him with a lamp until he dies, and then that's it for Tunneler.
It's just the Pixar intro.
Yeah. Just a bunch of blood shoots out from him. Yeah, and they just kill Tunneler. And to be honest, it sucks because I believe Tunneler comes back. And when he comes back, so spoilers
He's got
for
drills for hands and head.
and Wiener. He's actually just a drill.
So he does turn into Driller.
Yes. So I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, because I'll give some background on these movies in a second, to my personal background. In the third one, a lot of the puppets become good guys. Blade becomes a good guy. Jester becomes a good guy. Jester's always kind of in the middle. You get Six Shooter, and I think Pinhead becomes a good guy. But in the third movie, Tunneler and Torch and some other puppets, I think, are bad guys now. And it's kind of them going after them and all this shit, right?
So it's Puppet Civil War.
Basically. They're fighting over
That's
Spider-Man.
just small soldiers.
I wish
I
this
love
movie
Small
was Small
Soldiers.
Soldiers. I
So
really
good.
do.
That would be.
Greetings, I am Archer, emissary of the Gorgonauts.
You know, you watch Toy
a good
Soldiers
film.
and you go, why is this so good? And then you remember
Small
it's made
Soldiers?
by Small Soldiers. You watch it and you go, why is this so good? And you go, oh yeah, it's made by Joe Dante. He's already made this movie twice. So, no, but my background on these movies specifically, Dish Network, we like upgraded our package, and it came with this channel just called the Monster Channel. That's what it was. And it was 24 hours a day horror movie content. Except at midnight, it would always play this Playboy. It would always play this Playboy Bunnies Halloween special where they were getting body painted.
So we know where Tyler found his porn.
Yes, I was like, nice. And I was like, I don't like these women.
He had his hand on the recall button.
I
on the
always tell
remote.
stories about that. That's how I watched Showgirls. That's how I watched that. But these movies were always on the Monster Channel without fail. Every weekend, one of these was on there. I think 3 was on there the most. Yes. And I will say one thing that this movie does great is the theme of Puppet Master is really creepy. The music that plays in the beginning, you know.
I thought you were talking about
I know, like,
story.
No.
Yes, murderous puppets. Great theming.
No. The music where it goes, you know. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Very Danny Elfman.
And it's very circusy, very, you know, and it just has a good vibe to it. It's just too bad the movies can't cling to the vibe that they're putting forth with that music. But it used to freak me out. I don't know. When we got the Monster Channel, I was only in like 7th grade, and that's when I was still in my like really scared of everything phase. And I remember like, oh, Puppet Master's gonna come on. That doesn't sound too scary. And I turned it on, the music played, and I turned it off, changed the channel. I was like, this could be too scary for me. But back at the lab that they have now.
The walk-in fridge. They put his body in there.
Yes, they put him on a
Sheet.
food rack in the walk-in freezer and put a rose on him.
I was like, maybe just leave now
Call
that
the
there's
police?
murderous puppets. Yeah.
I do love that they're like, oh, thank God this place has a freezer. Put him on that wire rack. Everyone knows what wire rack I'm talking about. You can buy it at Home Depot, Target, everything.
Oh, no, what's his butt? Motorcycle guy shows up after
Yes,
he
you're
dies.
right. Yes.
Because then he's like, what's wrong? I know this is really abrupt me showing up like this. And she's like, sorry, my brother just died. Anyway, are you romantically open?
So they dissect Tunler and find out that he's like an automaton.
He's got no batteries.
Yeah, he's just gears inside of him and everything like that. They're like, this is the scientific discovery of the century. Is what they said. And I was like, no, it's not. It's a robot.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Those have existed for a long time now. So the next morning, another man shows up. And oh god, Enrique Shaney, right? Which is
Your face.
what? What did I do?
You're like, Enrique. Like,
Well,
you
it's-
made such a disgusted face. Like, you hated that man.
Because I just read his name and realized he's supposed to look like the Invisible Man, and his fucking name is Cheney, like Lon Chaney.
Oh. I was getting heavy Invisible Man vibes.
Yeah, except he wasn't an abuser in this one.
Did you notice the size of, like, his black spot on his mouth changed
Yeah, was that-
throughout the
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I
Like,
was like,
some day it was, like,
was that his
big,
lip
but
or
some
something?
it was, like,
Well,
really
no, they
tiny.
mentioned that he smoked cigarettes. I thought maybe it was like tar from the cigarette building
what I
up on
thought
his
too.
bandages. But I was
But
like,
in that, so we meet him, and first it's like a wide cylindrical like black mark, but then in the scene when he's smoking, it's like a black dot.
yeah,
Like,
it's
just a little
weird.
black dot.
They can't keep consistent, and they can't keep consistent with like what he's doing and what his motivations are. Because I'll just give you a spoiler: his motivations are the same as the Ghost in the Haunted Mansion movie, which is that the woman looks like his previous lover, and that like he's gonna turn her into it.
Yeah.
So he, shows up out of nowhere and just states that he inherited the hotel after Megan, the woman who was murdered.
And they're all literally like, "We work for the government. We've seen the documents. You dumb idiot."
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I've just been in Bucharest. That's why. What's not a file of paperwork yet? It's like so stupid. He tells them, like, you can still investigate here. They doubt him, but he's like, I'm not going to kick you out. Just be respectful of the...
Which,
Which
if
is like-
someone was like, "Oh, this is mine," but like, you're not gonna find my name on paperwork, but you can stay, I'd be like, "We have to go.
He's going to
Yeah.
kill us.
We are dead."
I think he has little people dressed as puppets in here that are going to kill us. So,
I think he is just little people in a trench coat.
all stacked up. Yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought it would be like puppets, just like made up into a human.
That would
Like
be
an Oogie
terrifying.
Boogie made of puppets.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be so scary if that's
My
what they
puppets.
did. My puppets!
As he's like falling apart into different puppets.
And they're all like... Or what if he was a big puppet and then big reveal at the end? Everyone's like, oh, fuck, I did see those strings going to the ceiling this whole time. Weird that we've done 2 movies in a row with automatons in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought that through, right? Yeah.
And they're filled with a colored substance. That's
yeah,
not
you
bad.
got it mixed up.
Um,
They're filled with Tang. That's what it is in
thick tang.
Thick Tang. So this is when Michael arrives because he's worried about his mom. So, Jarrett, it's your time to shine because now we get Blade and Leech Woman show up to that farmer's house.
I thought there was a third one there too. Is it just Blade and Leech Woman?
It's just
there?
Blade and Leech Woman.
I thought.
Maybe Pinhead's there too.
No, I thought Jester
No.
was there.
No,
Just-
he's in that chair in the attic, being all
okay, yeah.
sad. Because I think he takes the most goo to run or something like that.
This lady
Yeah.
puts up a real good fight. Yeah.
Oh,
She's
she
kind of
does.
fun.
She beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
She is the representation of the studio system because she grabs Leech Woman and throws her in the fire and kills her.
Leech Woman is just like, no, stop. I don't stop.
Yeah, Leech Woman never throws up a leech in this movie either. Which,
Yeah.
She used to try and kill like a hammer.
Yeah, she had like a hammer in her hand. It was like.
I can't use my leeches. I haven't restocked yet.
Yeah, they're like, oh, gross. Throw her in the fire, and they're like, she's gone forever. Thank God. That's the best thing this movie does. I don't have to see Leech Woman. But go ahead and say your what the woman says here.
No, she says that at the start of the movie when the psychic's trying to go to the hotel. Because she's like, so when the psychic is looking for the hotel because she's lost, she's like, That place is the devil. It smells like burning corpses. You ever smell roasted entrails, lady? But then she also ends up catching fire and dying.
Yes, she catches on fire. Yes.
Foreshadow.
Don't say that.
She
That
was
means that
cool.
this movie was thought out. Yeah, so Blade and Leech Woman. Blade gets to escape because Leech Woman does kill the husband somehow. I don't really know how. But Leech Woman gets thrown into the furnace and she dies. And then, oh yes, there is a third puppet here. You're right. This is when we get to meet Torch.
Oh, yeah.
That's who sets her on.
Yeah, she's about to kill Blade with a shotgun, and Torch comes in. It's like... Torch was a set of 10 different puppets who all could shoot a 10-foot flame out of their hands. So that is a real flame shooting out of that puppet.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't that dope?
That's yeah.
Makes it even better when he kills that kid later.
If there's anything about these movies, is that the puppets are really cool.
Yeah.
That's all that's carrying these movies, is that the puppets look great.
Yeah.
Because when they're moving around in the scenes, it's seamless. It looks amazing when they're
when they're,
like walking.
It's like a wide shot of him like running down the hall
Yes.
or something, or it kind of follows him running to
Yes.
somebody. Yeah.
So good, so good. And Torch is one of the coolest looking puppets too.
Bullet teeth.
But yeah, he has bullet teeth and a little, like we said, he has a World War II German helmet. He has a
glowing
trench
eyes.
coat. He has glowing eyes. One hand is a flamethrower and the other is a regular hand, but he has bullet teeth, which is super cool. He's all made of metal. He has like rivets in him. We're gonna see what he was willing to do to a child in a bit. So,
This is also when we kind of find out about the brain stuff because they all go back to...
with the body.
Yeah.
And he's like, "It's all toasted. You can't use.
You got to learn how to use your restraint.
Yeah, and then Blade's like, God damn it, and he stabs the guy with his little hook hand and like rips into him. So this is they return with this, and then Toulon also lets us know that he believes that Carolyn is a reincarnation of his dead wife. Elsa, yes. Talk about... It was like, what's a Nazi? Elsa, yes. Nazi woman name.
Don't tell Disney."
Yeah, right.
They knew.
They knew.
No.
So then this is when we get
Frozen
this
3.
god fucking awful flashback to 1912, where we find out that Toulon at one point was just a simple traveling puppeteer. Does his little show, and then a magic...
Egypt.
Yeah. Where did
He's
I
in
say?
Egypt.
Yeah, he's in
for
Egypt.
some
He's in
reason,
Cairo, but
like-
everyone's white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a white Egyptian sets his shit on fire with his mind.
Yeah.
The sun hits just right off of a mirror and lights up his eyes. And
He's like... So he sets all of his stuff on fire and then basically shows him... Now, this puppet's really cool, but he's if you go on Wikipedia and you look up Puppet Master, it'll tell you every puppet, and there's a section called Minor Puppets, and this one's in it.
Oh.
Which is... His name's... I always say this word wrong. Jin.
Jin.
D-J-I-N-N,
Yeah.
which
A
is a
Jin.
genie. Yes. And he's really cool looking. He's all
Like
green.
Wishmaster.
Yes. I know. You love Wishmaster
I
so
know.
much. Is there a Wishmaster 4 or something?
Probably.
Make a wish and maybe it'll come true.
Yeah.
I don't know. They rebooted Slumber Party Massacre, so
Could you imagine if they rebooted Wishmaster? The one movie no one's asking for?
Oh, I am.
It's Wes Craven, isn't it?
He
like, produced it.
It's got a weird tie, I think.
Yeah. It's like a bolo. So he this is kind of how we learn that how Toulon becomes like ever living is because of this puppet Jin, and it teaches him the secrets of the ooze and how he can bring his puppets to life and stuff like that.
But so here's where I was a little confused because in the first one, it's not ooze or anything. It's like
Magic.
a seance almost, and they just like put their hands on the puppet, come to life, and then they're walking around.
But they do, I think basically that it wasn't the ooze to begin with, but at the end when they take that woman's brain out of her head, I think they were like, now it's the ooze. But the white Egyptian guy basically tells Toulon, like, your puppets ain't shit. And he's like, your shit sucks. Kids are bored.
And then Toulon's like, "Oh, that puppet looks ugly,"
Yeah.
as it's out there like moving around on its own.
Yeah, and it's like, Blade looks cool in this scene. He's got devil horns.
I know, right?
Really, really fucking cool. And he's got regular hands. I guess they burned off in the fire and he had to get blades now. So, the next morning, we got Michael and Carolyn. They go into town to find Camille and kind of to find out more about Enrique Jamie. Really, it's just Toulon. And when they leave, the puppets are just like, yeah, time to kill. It's just like they left. So we get a sex scene in this part of the movie, which is really boring. The only good part about the sex scene is they're laying
Titties.
well, there's titties. No, but I was saying the line, they're laying in bed afterwards, and the guy that she just had sex with, like, tossing and turning, and she's like, if I'm gonna lay in a bed where a guy's tossing and turning, I better be the one causing it. And she goes to bed on her own. And she steps out of the room for 1 second.
Yeah.
And he gets fucking killed in that 1 second.
Oh, he also showers after sex, and then she's like, "Am I too dirty that you need to shower after having sex with me?" And it's like, that's just proper hygiene, babe. You probably are gonna catch something
She's
with
like,
that
keep
attitude.
it there so I could smell it in 3 days.
I'm crossing my legs and keeping you inside me.
She's doing that thing from the Big Lebowski where she's rolling around on her back with her knees so that, to help ovulation. So who kills him? Which puppet?
Blade.
Is it Blade? Blade
This is
is
when I
like
started
splits.
checking out.
I checked out a long time ago.
I saw boobs, and I was like, it's definitely not a movie for me.
Oh my god! Then you missed when his dick's hanging out, and
No, I
Blade
went.
cuts
I
it off.
looked.
He's like,
Because you see man butt. You see man butt in this
see
one.
man
You do say male butt. You know, that was a trope in the 90s where you, like, always saw male butt. Bring it back. I'm saying it for the
Why
ladies.
stop at their butt?
I'm saying for the ladies.
Hey, Watchmen tried to bring back Peen.
No, Harvey Keitel brought back Peen in The Piano, where you see his whole dick and balls in that movie. It's not good. But bring it back. Come on. Bring back male nudity. We need to stop being so puritanical. Genuinely, I don't understand how a male penis is far worse than a vagina.
It's not. It's just that audience.
I know. It's all about male.
Yeah, it's appeasing
Gays
the male
versus-
standards
yeah,
because Hollywood is men. There's actually a pretty good documentary. on
Listen,
Netflix
show us a
about it.
fucking butthole in a movie, all right?
Doesn't even matter, man or woman.
No, you see Rena Riffles, like, beginning of her butthole in
You see
Showgirls.
Rena Riffles' butthole?
No, in Showgirls, in one of the scenes where they're dancing, she gets on all fours and, like, arches her back and her, like, cheeks spread and you could see her butthole. And imagine when we did Showgirls Live and she was, like, sitting next to me and I had to be like, just saw this woman's butthole on a screen. Yeah.
She's like, yeah, that's
It's a
right.
full nightmare.
I don't know. Kind of like looking into the Eye of Mara.
The Eye of Mara doesn't give you pink eye.
The pink eye of Mara. Now your eyes are itchy.
Crusted shut.
Oh. That's not the only eye that's crusted shut.
They're all goopy.
Brown-eyed girl. So, they kill people. They keep getting brain tissue. They're making their goo, which apparently has to be cooked in a pot, in a pan, and it makes like that slime that kids are obsessed with right now. So now, like, everyone's dead. Michael and them, they.
Did you skip the child dying?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. It wasn't in my
Where he
notes.
was like-
It's a weird scene.
is
It's in
weird.
there for no
It's-
reason. But the funniest part about it is this little kid is out there with a
G.I.
G.I. Joe, and he has a whip. And he's like, die, Nazi scum. And he whips it. And then he puts it up against a tree like it's on a whipping
He was
post.
so uncomfortable with this. I was like, oh my gosh, this kid is.
At least it's a white G.I. Joe.
I know,
and
it's
he's
like-
calling it,
I was like, I wasn't that uncomfortable. It was a white G.I. Joe. And,
and
he was
he's
like,
calling it a Nazi.
yeah, I was like,
Still.
he's not wrong.
And then he whips it and somehow throws it into a bush. And then he's like, come back out. And then it gets thrown to him and he's like, huh? And Torch walks out. And this is when you become fully aware of how large these puppets are. Because this puppet is like 2/3 the
baby.
height of the child.
Yeah, they're at least like 2 feet tall.
And honestly, I would fully fund. I would put the maximum amount into a Kickstarter to be an executive producer on a buddy film between this child and Torch the puppet, because this scene is super cute at first. He picks him up and he's like, "What happened to your hand?
You have
Someone
heard of the
chop it off?"
new Child's Play TV show.
Yeah, where he's
He's friends with them and he's gay.
Chucky says trans rights. he's like,
does.
"I got a queer son."
Yeah.
Gender fluid.
Gender fluid. Yeah,
I
that's
need to
what he
watch
says.
that. I want to watch that.
I heard it's good, and
I've
there's
heard
a
it's
scene
really
where
good.
he's
I just don't know where.
I meant to send it to Carly because I know it'll kill her because she'll love it, how cute it is. But they're trick-or-treating, and Chucky's wearing a Hello Kitty mask on top of his head while he's walking around. Chucky.
I just don't know where to watch it.
It's
It's
on
on-
USA, so it's probably on
it?
Hulu.
I think it is on Hulu.
Is it
'cause I see
really?
ads for it.
Yeah.
Oh. I know
And it's not the shitty one with Aubrey Plaza. The only good part about it being she's in the
Her.
movie and she's playing a mom. And I'm like, thumbs up.
I had dinner with her.
Yeah, I know you
don't tell
flat
us.
tired her, okay?
You're so jealous.
Aubrey Plaza, if you're out there listening.
You want to join the show for?
Yeah, you
I-
want Jared to
Child's
flat
Play.
tire you again.
No,
He's
we're not gonna talk anymore. Because I was a bad boyfriend.
so yes, this kid
he's
like picks him up, he's playing with him. He's like, "What happened to your arm? Did it get cut off?" Because he has a flamethrower. And then he like drops him,
Yeah.
and then he's whipping him, and then
He's like, I'm Indiana Jones, and you're.
he says, "I'm Indiana." He doesn't say Indiana Jones, so they would have to pay the money. But he whips Torch, and Torch is like, "Hey, what the fuck? Fuck you!" And he doesn't show it, but he flames the kid.
Yeah.
Which is cool. We're here on Bombs Away. We're supporters of children dying in movies. It should happen more. I don't know why it's untouchable, but let's
It's not.
It's not. Well, these last two movies.
It's
we
very
just
taboo.
reviewed,
Well, these are in the '90s. I'm saying now it's very
yeah.
taboo.
Now,
Doctor Strange. No. Doctor
Strange.
Mysterious. Doctor Sleep. Doctor Sleep.
Doctor Sleep.
Doctor Sleep had a very upsetting child's death.
Oh, that
True.
scene! I give that
And that-
movie. That is a hard scene to watch, but I give that movie credit. We're starting to see it now. Do you know what movie was the first time I really saw like children get like really killed, and I was like, good.
Children of the Corn.
Hobo with a shotgun.
Oh.
There's a scene where the like bad guys' kids are like wreaking havoc because they basically want the city to not feel safe anymore because Hobo with a shotgun's protecting it. He gets on a school bus with all his kids and a flamethrower and a boombox, and it's playing Disco Inferno. And he's like, "Hey, do you guys
Start
hate
dancing."
school?" And they're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you hate homework?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you love hobos?" They're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I hate hobos." And he pulls out the flamethrower while Disco Inferno's playing. It's like, "Burn, baby, burn." And he sets the whole bus on fire. And it shows like at the back of the bus like a charred child like slamming on the window to get out.
Dang.
Good scene. And then they show all their bodies after.
Oh.
Hobo with a Shotgun's a good movie. If
Inclusive.
you have not seen
Trick or
it.
Treat kills kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying there was a lapse of time where you could not show children get hurt. You couldn't show them in peril, anything like that. No one wanted to like touch it.
My Girl.
Oh, shut up! He can't see without his glasses.
Yeah.
He didn't die That's okay for children to die like that.
Natural cause.
Natural causes are an accident, but to show children be murdered, you can't. Like that's like a no.
Now I'm just thinking of movies where children are murdered.
Now you really got me thinking about that death in Doctor Sleep, and it's genuinely horrifying and like an.
Oh,
awful
everyone
scene
on
to
that
watch.
crew was like, "This is so upsetting." Like the Wikipedia, not Wikipedia, the fun facts about it were basically like everyone did not feel great
That
after
kid,
filming that scene.
Jacob Tremblay, did such a good job in that scene.
Yeah.
That makes it so haunting because he is genuinely horrifying.
Yeah.
One
It
of the
is
people
so
in that
upsetting.
mob is also the guy that's in Midnight Mass and Haunting of Hill House, and
Oh,
he's also in
yeah.
Halloween Kills.
Wow.
He's Lonnie.
Hey, Lonnie.
Hey, Lonnie, get the hell off that porch.
Get your ass away.
Yeah. So speaking of this movie,
Yeah, sorry.
basically, we'll just wrap it up because there's not much to say, honestly. Toulon drinks the goo and turns into this horrifying fucking version of himself.
Toulon kind of
Fine.
Beetlejuice's the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Where it just
where
kind of like wraps up.
It's like a wedding.
Yes, and he's like,
That's it.
"Don't you remember who you are, Elsa?" And she's like, "No, because I'm not." He's like, "Okay." Anyway, look at me now, and his eyes are all bulging out of his head. And
And
he's,
his teeth are like one solid strip.
I hate it. He looks like
Chucky.
No, Ferris Bueller.
No, do you know who he looks like?
He looks like the actor that plays Ferris Bueller.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Especially after he killed a family.
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick?
Yeah, he looks like Matthew Broderick.
No, I was going to say he looks like Jamie Kennedy in Son of Mask when he
Oh,
gets
the stupid,
teeth.
yeah.
So he's like, oh, yeah, it's me. Don't you remember me? And he transfers his soul into this mannequin.
Oh, this is my favorite part because he like slits his throat into the funnel of the, and then it cuts to Blade being like, "What the hell?"
He's like, what the fuck did we do this all for? Yeah.
I don't understand what's happening right now.
And then
The
this is
funnel
when...
still has the purchasing sticker from like Home Goods. Do it right. It's still on the side of it.
So this is when the puppets kind of become good guys, because when he does this, it kind of like sets them free almost.
Kind of.
And then they fucking kill Toulon.
I think they're like, yeah, no more masters. We're on our own.
No
Toulon
gods, no
also-
masters. They're communist puppets.
Toulon also spends a long time though with the main lady being like, "So I'm going to kill you now in a few moments.
Yeah, he moves so slowly.
and eventually you'll die."
I think they do it
and I'm
because he's
going
so
to
creepy
get
looking, and they
there."
like
Yeah.
work too hard to make him look like that. Like he has to stay on the
Horrible.
screen. So yeah,
Puppets go berserk.
she her soul gets transferred.
What?
Her soul doesn't get transferred. His soul does.
No, they revive her afterwards.
She doesn't die.
Yeah.
Yes, she
Main
does.
girl and guy escape.
Oh, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
But then they think they get the soul of Elsa though somehow.
That's what it is. Yes, Elsa's soul is like saved, and
Yeah.
she's revived and whatever, and then they leave.
I don't really get how that works.
I don't know.
either.
I've missed that.
But
part.
she's also terrifying.
She's
Yes.
scary.
But then she gets him to go back to do evil.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said,
Is that the third movie? Does it take
who
place?
knows?
in
I guess we'll
childhood
know in a
mental
year,
asylum?
won't we?
Ugh.
Season 3.
Season of the.
Season of the Witch. Yeah, sorry for the confusing conclusion of the events of this film, but I don't think the filmmakers knew what they were doing either. They were like, yeah, it's okay, just get to the third one. That one's fun. Yeah, that's Puppet Master. The best thing to come out of Puppet Master is a few years ago, Full Moon released a Blu-ray set of them, and it comes in Toulon's puppet case. And it opens, and I believe there's a life-size torch, or not torch, blade. That's just your charger. You're fine.
Okay.
Inside of it, life-size
pretty cool.
torch puppet, which is really cool.
Torch or blade?
Torch. Or I'm sorry, God damn it, Blade.
They're both cool.
I keep not wanting to say Blaze because I know that's not his name, but I was like Blaze,
a
Blade,
pizza
Blade,
place.
Torch, Blaze, Torch, Blade.
Yeah. I have to say that after watching these two movies, I would say I'm a fan of the franchise, and I'll probably watch a little more.
See, and that's what sucks about him is like, or what sucks you in is like, God, these are awful. I'm so invested. It's like,
the
That's
puppets themselves
Wishmaster.
are pretty cool. That's Hellraiser.
no, Hellraiser 1 and 2 are good.
Yeah.
And then they get really bad after that.
I'm afraid to watch the third one.
Third one is where
the second one was
starts getting pretty bad. The
I'm
third
never
one's with
afraid
the
to watch any
third
of
one's
them.
Hell on Earth, right? Is that what it's called?
Think so?
That's the one with the CD head guy,
Yeah.
Butterball.
Butterball.
Wait, that's the name of the fat Cenobite.
Oh,
is
yeah?
Butterball, and then you have Chatterer,
Yeah.
which is the teeth one,
Right.
and then the girl with the hoops through her. I can't remember what her name is.
Halo.
What?
Halo?
Stupid. Cortana?
And then they're rebooting that franchise.
I know,
too.
and they're gonna have a female Pinhead, and I saw.
Who, wait, wasn't she actually?
Her name is
transgender?
Pinterest.
I don't know, but they're having a female Pinhead. But I saw a really good meme that was like, they're just announced female Pinhead, and or next to it was, this is what the inside of a rain stick looks like, and it's just a cardboard tube with nails through it, like all the way down, and it was like, that Padusi gonna be so good. Yes, that's Puppet Master 2. That brings us to the Jaws scale. Jarrett, why don't you lead us off?
It's a very easy Jaws 4.
I was
It's
gonna be
just
so
kinda
mad if
like-
you gave this a worse rating or a better rating than Halloween 3.
It's a very easy Jaws 2. I appreciated all of this. No, it's just not enough happens. The puppets really kind of like, you don't get a sense or understanding of them, but then also they like have their own motives, but like a guys controlling their motives, and it's all over the place.
I will say the
doesn't-
next one, the puppets are the main characters.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they basically
Dope.
are like, yeah, no one cares about the people. They want to see the puppets. So,
Well, yeah, we want to see the puppets murder. They're murderous puppets. Make the puppets murder.
and they're heroes now, too. So,
Just for one
4?
day. Yeah.
Peyton?
4 as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not. It's so boring.
Yes.
I mean, and there's like a few moments where like, oh, that's cool, and we're back to boring. That's about it. It's
I am going to give it a 4, I think. Yes. I feel in my heart of hearts like it deserves a 3 if you were going to consider the rest of the movies.
okay.
But if you weren't going to watch any others, this is a 4.
Yeah.
But like we said, it sucks you in.
I see how it can be a 3.
That's what I'm saying is like the fact that I want to watch more of them is like, oh, I feel bad for giving it a 4, but I give it it's a 4.
Yeah.
I think I've seen like one of the later ones because I was watching it and I was like, I remember watching one of these as a kid and being terrified,
probably
but
saw
I
the
don't
first.
remember them looking crappy, like
No.
crap quality.
You
They looked really like. I remember there was an elevator scene.
that's the first one. Yeah. That's
Does someone get pulled into an
yes,
elevator?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the first one. The first one's good. It's still kind of boring.
It's a little on the slow side, but it actually holds your attention.
Yeah, and then this one's pretty slow, but the third one is fun. And then eventually, so another full moon movie is Demonic Toys.
I see those two on
Yeah.
advertised on.
And there's a Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys.
Huh.
Oh, we gotta get to that one.
Yeah, that's like there is like 8 Puppet Master movies or 9 Puppet Master. There's a ton of them.
That's how I was with Hellraiser, and I was like, wait, there's like 20 Hellraiser movies.
There's like 12 or something like that.
I was like, I didn't know that these existed.
Yeah, you don't need to watch them.
No.
You should read the book though.
I do want to read the book.
I have it on. I have the audiobook of it. It's very good.
I hear it's good.
Yes, but these are not. 4s all around. Congratulations. Bing, 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 bing. That's good. I like.
That's like our third 4s all around.
Yeah. What else did we get? Like 4s all
Rocket
around.
Man.
Oh no, I gave that a 1. No, yeah, 4s all around. Good. I do think it sits there. I gotta think of like maybe a funny Puppet Master shirt to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Puppet Master 2. That is, quote unquote, the end of our Halloween films. But get ready for next episode in 2 weeks, because in 2 weeks, we're crossing them over like a Nightmare Before Christmas, baby.
Oh, we're finally doing Nightmare Before Christmas?
No!
What's wrong with you?
No, I'm saying we're making like a Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, it's not that. It's
Because
not
we're doing Black Christmas,
the new one?
2006.
12? Oh, I thought
Really? It was that long ago?
Yeah.
I thought this was like
I think they've
2016.
even redone.
They just redid it
since
again,
then,
like
yeah.
2 years ago, and it was really bad. But I don't want to cover
Because
it.
that one was supposed to be like a sorority girl. I remember that one from high school.
And I'll be
I'd
completely
watch that.
honest. I've heard it's awful, right? And I considered doing it. However, a lot of the conversation about it and around it is incredibly misogynistic, and I will not cover it on the show. Because I don't want to even put ourselves into a category of talking about a bad movie where people will join it to listen thinking we're going to say the same shit about them. Like that they agree with. Like I won't even entertain the idea of talking about a movie that's like
I thought you were saying there was a portion of it that was misogynistic that we weren't going to talk about. And I was
No,
like,
no,
well,
no,
then we're
no,
not
no.
talking about the movie.
everyone hated
I was
it.
like, that's a problem. You need to have that conversation.
Okay, it's a perfect example.
Everyone hated it because it was women winning,
I will not.
right?
Yes, I will
Yeah.
not consider doing
But wasn't that the original
Ghostbusters
movie?
2016 because of the conversation around the film.
Yeah.
It is a bad movie, but I don't even want to entertain people jumping on this show thinking we're going to be like,
Yeah.
and women. So
Yeah.
that's like same thing with that one. I'm not going to talk
I'll
about
hold
it.
my tongue.
I-
Saving a joke. Saving a joke.
I-
Off the mic joke.
I'll say it. We might get canceled. There's some parts of that movie I enjoy a lot.
No,
not
I
seen it
had
yet.
fun with it.
Ghostbusters 2016. The best part is Leslie Jones.
Yeah,
She's carrying the whole
no,
movie.
the best part is Hemsworth.
Yes, and that's sad. That's a different conversation in itself. That the female-led Ghostbusters best character is the dumb male character within it. But yes, so join us in 2 weeks for Black Christmas 2000 whatever.
Black
the second-
Christmas, we
the
gave
first
you our
remake
heart.
of it.
The first remake, okay.
Yes. I believe Mary Elizabeth Winstead is in this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love her.
Me too.
And
She's so good in Birds of
Before
Prey.
the original, which is a classic,
Pilgrim.
so good, has
Pilgrim.
Oh yeah, I forgot she's in that. Oh yeah.
Booby Juliet from Romeo and Juliet, that actress, I can't remember her name. The Romeo and Juliet that they show you in high school all the time where there's like,
Oh, with Leo?
yeah, no,
Not
not the
Claire
Leo one.
Delevingne.
No, not that one. Never mind, doesn't matter.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the not Leo.
No,
oh my
the
God, I almost
70s
said
one.
Lee Bowery.
I was shown the Leo one in high
Oh
school.
no, we watched
Yeah,
the one from the
same.
70s in my class.
Oh no, we went for the
There's
good
full
one.
titties
Baz
in
Luhrmann.
it. Oh, I hate Baz Luhrmann. Anyway,
I know.
take us to that outro, Peyton.
Bye.
Hey, you can-
Oh.
You gotta plug our stuff, man. We got
Oh, I'm plugged.
We're on Spotify, YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, and we got trees. We have shirts, T-shirts.
Of
What I was
course.
about to say, which are really soft. I love wearing mine. I've been wearing it and with washing it, several days in a row. We can find us on Linktree. Tyler, you want to tell us how to say that?
linktr.ee/bombsawaypodcast. That's where you can find links to all of our stuff.
It's everything. It's the one-stop shop for Bombs Away.
Yes, everything on there, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff. Congrats to our winner of our giveaway. Insert name here. I'm just going to leave the insert name here thing too because we haven't selected them yet. But congratulations. Your package should be already on the way to you, well on the way to you, received by you. I don't know. It's
Let
the
us know when you
future.
get it,
Yeah.
because that
Thank you
I'll
for
be
being a
excited.
winner and a listener.
Yes, and thank you so much.
all our listeners are winners in our eyes.
All right, Peyton, don't have to butter them up, all right? Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah. Thank you guys so much for still listening. We love you guys so much.
Yeah.
We are having such a good time.
We appreciate every single one of you.
Yes. Like I said, 2 weeks, Black Christmas, and then we'll just be rolling through the holidays. That'll kick off Christmas for the show.
So much for Thanksgiving.
What Thanksgiving? You want to do Thanksgiving? Have you watched that
Again?
movie?
Oh my God.
No, we're not doing any of those fucking.
You want to do the Thanksgiving sequel?
No.
It's half animated.
It's horror.
Gobble gobble, motherfucker. So yeah, that does it for us here at Bombs Away. Thank you guys so much. Join us in 2 weeks for Black Christmas, the remake. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Oh my god. This made me pass out doing that noise.